Holy cow, Bitcoin just fell a lot very quickly. And I want to cover why that is. We're well under 63,000, 64,000, 65,000. We were at 65,000 yesterday. We just fell to like 61. So I want to explain why this is. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, I will apologize. I just got done playing basketball. I was going to take a shower and then this happened. So yeah, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to put off the shower for a little while, but you do have to look at me. I know it's tough, but the market is falling. And if you want to play this, if you do want to use leverage, which only should be part of your portfolio, it should only be part of your game plan moving forward, there is a link to Margex underneath the video where you can trade cryptocurrency on leverage. There's also a link to CoinW underneath the video where you can do the same thing. There's no KYC on either of these. You can also just buy spot crypto over on CoinW and just hold. But as you can see, the market dumped. Like, look at this. Let's zoom in here on the 1 minute on Solana. Huge volatility. So over what, 20 minutes, we went from 140 down to 116. That's a huge move. And over about 4 minutes, we went from 130 to 116. A 15% move basically in 4 minutes? That is insane. Bitcoin also falling down. Let's see how quickly that changed. So we were at 67,000, and in 20 minutes, we are all the way down at about $60,600, which is very similar, a very similar spot to where we were a few weeks ago. The bottom of this last downturn that we had after we hit the all-time high. So we did have a lower high and a lower low. So what exactly happened? Bitcoin plunged $6,000 in minutes after reports of Iran launching up to 100 drones towards Israel in retaliation for their embassy being bombed by Israel earlier this month. So global conflict is causing the entire market to fall. You can see the last hour being ugly for a lot of cryptos, down 20%, 25%, just a bloodbath. Of course, there are some cryptos that are, sideways or slightly up, but yeah, it's rough. Now, keep in mind though, we do see dips like this. This is the Bitcoin chart from 2016, 2017. We do see dips like this, and keep in mind too, World War III dump almost 4 years to the day after the Corona dump. Yeah, remember, this is, within a couple months of when we had the dip back in 2020, and that's 4 years ago. We have 4-year cycles in crypto. It's kind of nuts how close this is lining up. Also, we had $700 million worth of longs liquidated in the last 24 hours, 536 million of which being in the last 1 hour. Even a good amount of shorts being liquidated because people go short on 100x, 50x, and then, we have a bit of a rebound, and then boom, they're stomped out. So what does this mean? Well, let's look at one more thing. I should cover this too. Bitcoin dominance, touching exactly that line that we talked about, right around 57%. I said this could be some resistance. Maybe we break out above it. I am heavily invested into Bitcoin. That is why I've said for months that is the highest weighting in my portfolio by far. I have more Bitcoin than anything else. It's larger than the rest of my portfolio combined times 2, right? It's like 70%, 80% of my portfolio is Bitcoin because I realized that Bitcoin dominance is probably going to continue climbing. Now, we're at an interesting point though, especially with a lot of alts falling down 20, 30% when Bitcoin's down 10, 15%. Am I really worried about this? Because, when you look at it, hey, there is a lower high and a lower low, just slightly. Am I worried? Well, honestly, short term, anything could happen. I don't know what's going to happen in the next day. I don't know. We could fall down from here. Am I going to sell? No. To be clear, I'm not worried long term. Honestly, I'm completely fine with us taking a bit of a dip. When you zoom out, we still are up significantly from where we were a couple months ago. Yeah, we have some volatility now. We were at $28,000 not too long ago. Like back in the fall, Bitcoin was at 28,000. Take a look at this. 26,000, 28,000. It's back in October. So yeah, we've made some big moves. Just like always, I'm going to say, hey, there's going to be volatility, especially when there's this much leverage in the market, especially when there are these big players in the market. There's not a ton of volume typically over the weekend, but also there might be some whale games being played right now. Why would I say that? Well, we do have the ETFs possibly getting approved in Hong Kong next week. What do people want? Well, they probably want good buying in prices, right? We also know that there has been some interesting things happening with the US ETFs too. The reason I say that, and I talked about this a little bit in my video earlier today, but Fidelity, ARC21, Bitwise, VanEck, Valkyrie, Invesco, Franklin, WisdomTree, they all have zero inflows or outflows for yesterday. Now, why is that weird? Well, is it people not trading? No, people are trading. You can see FBTC with almost $1 billion worth of volume. I mean, really 800 million. ARTB with 235 million. BITB with 124 million. And the reason I say this is weird that they're not inflows or outflows, we're talking about over $1 billion of trading between these ETFs, and there's not $1 million in or out. Like, again, that just seems really weird. Like if you flipped a coin 100 times, right? Or actually 791 times, is it going to be exactly half and half? Well, I guess not, but you can't have half and half on 791 flips. But if you flipped it 790 times, what are the chances that it's exactly flipped heads and tails equally? Well, I'd say it's not great, right? There's probably a couple more of one or the other. And it just seems weird that 9, 10, 11 different ETFs all have zero volume. I don't know what's happening there. I mentioned that in the last video. Something seems a little bit odd with that. Let me know in the comment section if you think it's odd too. Now, it does seem like we're getting a bit of a bounce, up to 62.5, basically just double bottoming here. Keep in mind too, if we do see more global conflict, if we see an escalation, that could definitely affect crypto's prices. But long term, I think we know where this asset class is going. I don't think a war on the other side of the world is going to make us fall 80% like some people would say. No, I don't think that's the case. Let me know what you're doing. Are you buying here today? I'll be honest, I think this isn't the worst time to dollar cost average, to add to this dip, because we're seeing some juicy prices, like some prices that you might not see again. And this could be one of those times where whales just try to shake you out. Like they're trying to cause liquidations, obviously. They're trying to shake you out of your conviction right ahead of Hong Kong ETFs, right ahead of having ETFs were approved. They're slowing down a little bit, so people are a little bit cautious. But honestly, this is the most bullish we've ever been, except for price. Price is down 15% from the high, maybe 20%, 15%. And people are scared. But in my opinion, this is not the time to be scared, right? You should have been taking profits, or you should have been scared when we were at all-time highs a little bit, and that we could fall a little bit. But if you have cash on the sidelines, like I do have cash on the sidelines, ready to deploy if I see some good deals. Well, if you do have some cash, well, this is the time that you might want to deploy it. Of course, we could always dip more, so I'm never telling you what to do. But I do like to see a little bit of a shakeout every once in a while. Get out the lettuce hands. Get the strong hands in here. They're willing to ride or die this next bull market. And let's see how it goes. Bitcoin's almost back at 63K. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much. Again, you can check out Margex or CoinW or Blowfin or BYDFI. All of those are down below in the comment section. Of course, though, make sure you trade responsibly. I'll see you in the next video.